Like to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Got a good show for you today. Sit back, relax. We're only going to have two topics that we will be talking about today. First one we're going to be talking about is the incident as it relates to domestic violence with the Osceola Police Department. And we also is going to pick back up on what was in the personnel file of the two Osceola police officers that was hired by Chief Thompson for the drug task force. So sit back, be back in a second, and we'll dig in. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't have my public comment section on there. And so, again, I'm coming back saying sit back, relax. We will be talking about two topics today. One is domestic violence as it relates to the Osceola police officer who were arrested for multiple charges. And we also will be talking about what was in the two Osceola personnel files that was hired by Chief Thompson for the drug task force. So sit back, relax, and we will be back to go ahead and dig in. Want to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollers Live talk, excuse me, talk show Testify. Today we're going to be discussing the two topics. Let me go up here and make sure I got my comment section on right quick. So just give me a second. Let me go up here. Turn this down a little bit. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Like my mic trying to go out on me, but just give me a second. Let me pull it up right now. Okay. Trying to turn my banner on too. Don't have it on. But where we at? Okay, I think this is my banner. Okay, we're going to be getting started. I want to say this here before I get started. There has been those who reached out to me, asking me about the incident that went on with the Osceola Police officer. I just want to say this here. I was out of town when that occurred. I got back in town. I was planning on reaching out to the gentleman, just trying to give him a little time to cool down. He was pretty hot. And so therefore, before I could get back with him or give him a call, he had already, I guess, reached out to someone. I don't know if he's from Ford City, Pine Bluff, somewhere. Many of you already saw the video. And so that was my purpose for not running the making contact with the gentleman. I just figured you have already seen the video, and it just would be redundant for me to just play something that you already have seen. But I did reach out to the accused officer. I didn't get any response from him. Maybe he's acting upon the advice of legal counsel. And so that was that. So for all of you who the inquiring minds wants to know why I didn't reach out, I was out of town. When I got back in, I tried to give him a little time to settle down, cool off a little bit. But in the process of waiting, he had already hooked up with someone. So that was that. Okay. Now, I also want to say before we move on, as it relates to the school board, just real quickly, I think many of you read in the newspaper some things, comments that was made by President Barbara Wells and also board member Desmond Hammond. I think he spoke with the media, and there was some things that were said as to why the Mr. Bowe, Sarando Bowe, refused the job. I can't say why he refused the job. We can only go by what we heard. That was, well, not heard, but what we read in the newspaper. I will say this here in terms of two words. There is a group of people that are furious with the conduct of the entire school board. And those two words are the voters. The voters are fed up. All the bickering, the childish behavior that is going on with the Blava School Board. And so, again, two words, the voters. The voters are fed up. Hopefully you all will conduct yourself like grown folks and take care of our children, our school district, and more importantly, giving our teachers the resources and support that they need as they take on the privilege, the difficult job, and trying to educate our children. And so that's pretty much that. Now let's move into the show. We want to be talking about, let me go to my board up here, make sure I got everything. What we want to be talking about, first of all, we want to talk about the two police officers. As you all know, what I'm talking about is the two police officers recently hired by Chief Thompson have serious violations violations in their personnel file. Okay. Now, there also has been another twist in this case. Many of you probably have read or heard, we'll say heard, that there seemed to be a very low morale within the Blytheville Police Department. One of the reasons being, or shall I say, in this particular case, the reason being is that the two police officers who quit their job in Osceola and they came to Blytheville and they sort of bypassed every Blytheville police officer who might have had a desire to serve on the drug task force. Unfortunately, they was not given that opportunity because the two individuals from Osceola had been hired. Now, you would think that since they gone back to Osceola, that, excuse me, that the job for is needing two drug task police officers will still be open, correct? Well, to my understanding, those two positions have vanished. They no longer exist, to my knowledge. Now, if that is the case, I think that is somewhat unfair to the Blytheville police officers um, who might have a desire to work um, on the drug task force or within the drug task force. And also, I will say the two returning officers to Osceola. The question now remains, will these two Osceola officers be accepted back to Osceola uh, with their same, I will say, seniority? Will they keep that? Will they come back? Will they start from the bottom? Or will they go straight to the top? You know, I think one was a lieutenant, I believe. And so we're going to show you some things that was in these two police officers' file that Chief Ross Thompson hired them. Now, you would think that Chief Thompson might have uh, did a better job in vetting these police officers in terms of screening them, just getting some type of background check on them. Had he done that, I'm pretty sure he would have learned some of the things in these two police officers' personnel file. Okay, but unfortunately, he either did know uh, or he should have known. In any case, he hired them. All right. So let's go ahead and dig into it right now. Let me go up here and pull up this first officer. Let me see if I can get it on the screen here. Where are we at? Let me go right here. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull this officer up right here. I'm hoping you all can see that. Blow it up a little bit. Anyway, this is Officer William Skaggs. Okay, this is Officer William Skaggs. This is the officer who was suspended for somewhat conduct unbecoming, speaking to his superior officers, assistant chief. I think his name is Tyler Stanford. But anyway, let's go up here and read some things that he have in his file. Okay, let's go up here right now. Let's sort of blow this up a little bit. I'm hoping I got it blowed up a little bit where you all can see that. You might want to turn your phone landscape where you can see it a whole lot better. Okay, this is one of the incidents that was, as you see, was taking place. It took place on September the 7th, 2021, not too long ago. This is Lieutenant William Skaggs. Lieutenant William Skaggs called Assistant Chief Stanford on the phone after finding out that the drug task force would be switching offices. Skaggs started the conversation with, "Y'all are some backstabbing son of a bitches." Lieutenant Skaggs was then advised that he was talking to his assistant chief. Skaggs replied with, "What the F are you going to do?" Let me go up here. Fire me? Uh, fire? Let me see. Let me go back. Skaggs replied with, "What the F are you going to do? Fire me?" Skaggs was advised to go home for the day and return to work on September the 14th. Skaggs completed complete disrespect of the change of command is conduct unbecoming of a police officer. Um, so there you see where it say 40 hours suspension and reduce in rank to staff sergeant. As I understand, uh, he was a lieutenant, and based on his conduct here, he was knocked down or he was demoted to a staff sergeant. As you can see, uh, this is like I said, the violation occurred on September the 7th, 2021. Um, I concur with the company statement, and he didn't sign it. I have entered my statement of the above matter. Employee signature he refused to sign. Okay. Now let's go back over here and see if anything else. Like I said, he got 40 hours suspension and reduced and ranked to staff sergeant. Okay. And also, Chief Ollie Collins, he signed it. Of course, you got other signatures there. Uh, Assistant Chief Tyler Dunnigan, Tyler Dunnigan, excuse me, Tyler Stanford. He's the assistant chief. He also signed it. And so that was that write up. Okay. I think he may have one other write up in here. So let's go and find that write up right now. See if we can pull that one up. But there is another write up. So let's go and find that right now. Okay. So let's do this right here. Okay. And let's go to his other write up that he have. Okay. Okay. Skaggs, that's one, that's two. I think this is the other one. We'll find out. Okay. And uh, this is the other write up here. Um, let me see if I can blow that up a little bit more for you. If you can't see it, let's see. That might work. Let's see. I think that'll work. We'll try this right now. Okay, just read along with me. Lieutenant William Skaggs was a victim of a breaking and entering and theft from his take home law enforcement vehicle. Both of Lieutenant Skaggs' Osceola Police Department issued weapon, a Glock 22 and 27, were stolen. Skaggs admitted that he inadvertently left the vehicle unlocked. Lieutenant Skaggs was made to understand the importance of never leaving a weapon in a vehicle. Okay, and right there, that costed him 2 days suspension without pay. Suspension period 10/31/2019, 11/01/2019. Lieutenant Skaggs may return to work 11/4/2019. Okay, and so that was that write up. Of course, he concurred with the write up, And so that was that. Those are the only two that that Skaggs have. Okay. Now those are the only two that he have. Now I will say this here. The next one that I'm going to be pulling up for you all um, is Mr. Officer Newell, I think his name. He got quite a bit in his file. And so I think he got like 4 write-ups. Um, one of them is very serious, if not 2. Okay, and so we're going to go to him right now. Let's try to pull him up. Okay, so first let's go up here and go ahead and change out things. Okay, so we're going to go back in here. Officer Newell, I believe is his name, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to pull him back up right now. Okay, Officer Newell. Okay, let's start right here with this one. Okay, now, well, let's go back. We'll come back to that one. That's the one right there. Probably is the worst one. So we're gonna come back to that one. Okay. So let's just try this one right here, and let's go in here and find it right now. Okay. This is the one we want. Give me a minute, and I'm finna bring it on the screen right now. Okay. So just give me 1 minute, and I will be bringing it on. Stop share there. Go back. Okay, now we back in. Now we finna put it up right now. Okay. New World 1. Let's see if we can find that. New World 4. Okay. Let's see if we can get that. All right. Lieutenant Stanford, that's the same one. That's not the one we want. Give me 1 minute. I'm getting my files mixed up here. So we're going to try this one more time, okay? Okay, where we at? Okay. 4 and well 5. I think this is the one, okay? That's the one right there, okay? Now, I'm trying to wait and see if I can see it on my screen over here. Okay. Now I want to say that this gentleman right here, Officer Newell, I think his name, he have received it 4 write-ups back to back, 2016, 2017, and 2018. Okay. So let's start with 2016. This is the one right here. Okay. Like I say, this is Kobe Newell. Okay. Now I want to blow this up where you can see this a little bit better. Okay. Let's try to pull it over here. See if you can see that a little bit better. Okay. Now, it say on 1/26/2016, officer responded to a disturbance. Let me go over a little bit. A disturbing call at the Osceola High School following a basketball game. Several individuals were involved in a physical altercation, which required officers to go hand on with the subjects. The officers who were wearing body cam failed to activate their camera to record the incident. Each officer was reminded that it is police department policy to make sure that they turn their cameras on. This was issued as a verbal warning. Okay. Now that was a verbal warning. That was 2016. Okay. Now let's go up here to 2017. Let's find that one. Let's try to reduce this a little bit what we can see. Let's try to find 2017. That's what we're looking for now. 2017. Okay, and this is the 2017 incident. 2017 incident, this was safety. Again, okay? It say 5/21/2017, while investigating vehicle B and E, Patrolman Richardson located an officer police department issued duty weapon in the backyard of 107 Jenny Lane. After investigating, it was learned that the weapon belonged to Officer Kobe Newell, who also had the department issued shotgun and other police-related items. All items were left in Newell vehicle. Blow this up a little bit where you all can see that. Okay, hopefully you can see that right there. Let me bring it back. See if I can bring it over a little bit. Okay, hopefully you can see that a little better. All items were left in Newell vehicle. It was discussed at length by Department Administration that no weapon ought to be left in the vehicle, locked it or not. Corporal Newell demonstrated extremely carelessness by leaving his department issued weapon in his vehicle. First, by not taking them inside. Secondly, because officers of that shift were actively pursuing the suspect involved in the theft of the weapons, which could have been turned on them. Per department policy, a letter was also to be written to the chief of police about the incident. No such letter was turned in. Oh boy. And because of the carelessness of this safety issue, let's see, well, he was given 2 days suspension. Okay. That was in 2017. We got 2016, 2017. He got 2 days suspension. So now he got two more. Let's look at those right quick. 16, 17, let's find 18. I think he got one in 18. Let's find that one. Okay. So let's reduce this a little bit what we can see. Okay. Well, he had 18. He got one in 18. Okay. That's 16, 17. Here go 18 right here. All right. So 18. Let me see what this is. This is 18. Okay. 19 is going to be the one that really is going to be somewhat very serious. But this is 18. 18. Let's blow that up a little bit where you can see it. Okay. Can y'all see that? It say on 6/30/2018, Officer Newell was out of county while on call for the drug task force. Policy states that officer who serve in an on-call capacity must remain within Mississippi County. Newell was sharing live videos on social media from a baseball tournament in Paraguay. Okay. And for that, what this there? It say when an officer has a specialized job that require he or she be on call, they must be available in a timely manner to respond to the location as requested by the shift commander and administrator. And of course, he was given, where is the warning at? I think he was just given a warning for that. Verbal warning, I guess. Written warning. That was written warning. He was given a written warning for that. Okay. And this last one that I want to show you, which is very serious. Okay. And this is the last one. All right. And we'll be through with these write-ups. So let's go over here and pull this last one up. Let's find it. Okay, that's 5. We're looking for 4. This is the last one. All right. So here we go. And this is the last one right here. Now, this is a pretty serious one here. Okay. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. That's too much. We're going to have to go back down. Hopefully you all can see that. Now, this incident right here, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say is a very serious incident. This is where Officer Newell, he had a female in the workplace, and that is prohibited. Okay, remind you, he's a DTF officer, Drug Task Force, and he had a female officer in the workplace. So let's go ahead and read this here. This letter, imagine he answered to um, Officer Bobby uh, Eflin. I think Bobby Eflin is who he answered to. So this is a letter that was written to the chief by Bobby Eflin. Okay? This letter is very disturbing. You all read along. It says on January the 22nd, 2019, I was contacted by Lieutenant Skaggs in reference to a call he received from Sergeant Tyler Stanford in reference to an incident involving Officer Newell. Lieutenant Skaggs related that Sergeant Stanford observed an unknown female leaving the DTF office at approximately 0000 hours of January the 22nd, 2019. Lieutenant Skaggs related Sergeant Stanford stated he observed a vehicle traveling on the wrong side of the roadway on Sims Street and eventually located the vehicle parked in the rear parking lot of the Chamber of Commerce building. Sergeant Stanford noticed that Corporal Newell, I just say Officer Newell, was at the Drug Task Force office and contacted Officer Newell in reference to the vehicle. Officer Newell indicated to Sergeant Stanford that he was unaware of the vehicle and had not noticed it. Sergeant Stanford parked it and watched the vehicle, eventually observing a female leave the rear door of the DTF, that's Drug Task Force, office and enter the vehicle. I advised Lieutenant Skaggs I would speak with Officer Newell about the matter. On January the 23rd, 2019, Corporal Newell came into my office and began telling me about the incident. I advised Officer Newell that I was aware of it and that Sergeant Stanford observed the female leaving the office. I further advised Corporal Newell Sergeant Stanford ran an ACIC check on the tags and that it returned it to the wife of an officer employed by another department in the area. Wow. Officer Newell then admitted that the female had been in the office. So now he fessed up. I verbally counseled Officer Newell on the inappropriate nature of this incident and advised him that any repeat of this type of activity would result in a request that he be removed from the Drug Task Force. Officer Newell stated he understood and apologized for the behavior. I am confident that Officer Newell is aware that his actions were inappropriate and completely understand the consequences of any further incidents of this type. Excuse me. I am recommending record of this counseling be made a part of Officer Newell personnel file. An employee warning report was completed and presented to Officer Newell. Newell acknowledged in writing and concurred with my assessment of the incident and that its nature was inappropriate. I requested that Officer Newell complete a statement in reference to the incident, and he complied. Both the warning report and Officer Newell's statement was attached to the memorandum. And this is Robert Eflin. That's Bobby Eflin. I imagine that's who Officer Newell answered to. So that was that, ladies and gentlemen. Officer Newell down at the Drug Task Force office had a female in there. Uh, what they was doing, just use your imagination. That's all I'll say. But anyway, it was inappropriate according to uh, Bobby Eflin, Officer Eflin. Now he did uh, write a letter, Officer Newell. I really don't want to read all this here, but it's short. But he did write a letter. I think he said he was down there painting when he had the female to pay him a visit. Newell was at a Rivercrest Osceola basketball game when I was contacted about needing to get some paperwork to my cousin as quick as possible. I advised him that I couldn't get it to him right then due to me working the game. I asked it to try and find a way to get it to him as soon as possible. I remember that a friend of mine and my cousin relative worked it at the hospital and could possibly take it to him. I contacted her at the hospital. He contacted her at the hospital. I guess that's where she worked on a job, and asked her if she would do me a favor and take the paperwork to him. She advised it that she could, and I told her that I was going to go to my office and get it ready for her right after the game was over. I told her that if I had not made it to the hospital when her shift had ended, then to just come by my office and that I would give it to her to take. The game ended and I went to the office. I began getting it together while I finished painting the door. He was painting the door and he was still getting the information ready for y'all. And he was painting the door frame that we had in the office due to some construction we had going on. I was having trouble being able to get some stuff off my flash drive. So instead, I tried to get it off my email. I was sitting in my office when I heard a knock on the door and found it to be her at around 11:10 p.m. and 11:15 p.m. That's pretty late. I told her that I almost had it ready to go and that it would be a second. I kept messing with my computer, and after getting frustrated, let me go up here. After getting frustrated, I just told her thanks, but that it wasn't going to work right for me. I told her that I would just take it over the next day when I got time and that I would explain what happened to my cousin. I walked her to the back door and let her out. I then went and finished painting the door frame. And then once I was done, I shut everything off, set the alarm, locked the door, and left for the night. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's his statement. Okay. So it's clear that these two officers that um, Chief Thompson uh, hired, um, he had to know a lot of this information that was in their files. Um, it's just one of those things to where, it's just certain officers get a privilege card to where they can do wrong at one department, don't matter, pack up and move on to the next department. That really has to stop. There has to be a better way. I'm pretty sure there is a way to screen police officers who are looking for work. They call most of these police officers who are having problems. They even give them a name. They call them wandering police officers. A wandering police officer is someone who, someone who's looking for work. Okay, someone who's problematic, probably got suspended, got fired, and he's looking for his next police job. For the most part, they go to these departments to where that department is pressed for money because of the budget. And sometimes these officers will take that employment, will work for less pay just to get a job, and I guess to maintain their certification. Okay, so that is what. As a matter of fact, I got it over here. They call them what is it? Police departments to beware of wandering police. Police officers is what I meant to put, and those are police officers that are looking for work. Okay, now, one of the things that they're trying to do, they're trying to have these problematic police officers uh, to decertification. In other words, lose their certification uh, of working as a police officer in any department. There have been one state, I think it's California, that have passed laws where an officer who have found to have committed excessive force. I don't know if that just one offense or if it's multiple offenses, but that officer cannot become gainfully employed nowhere at no other department in California. So I think it's a good policy uh, to have. Okay, and so that's pretty much all I have on that particular case. I was going to talk about some other things in regards to hiring when it comes to the police officers, but unfortunately, don't have much to say on that. And the only other thing that I want to pull up is let me find it. Let me go up here. Get rid of some of this stuff, okay? Let's get rid of some of this. Now, many of you saw the mugshot, if you will, of the police officer who was arrested. Let me see if I can pull him up. I know I got his mugshot somewhere. And we're getting ready to shut this thing down a little bit, y'all. Just want to show you, for those who probably didn't get a chance to see it, I'm pretty sure you did see it though. But this is a gentleman that I'm trying to show you all right now. So give me a minute. I'm finna pull him up right now. Okay. And this is the gentleman right here. Let me find him. I think this is him right here. So let's go ahead and click on it. That is a gentleman right there. Many of you know I put that on. Let's see if we can blow that up a little bit. It's probably about the best. Let's see. I'm gonna have to take it down. Let's see. Drop it down one more block, one more, decrease it. Okay. Now, this is the gentleman that was arrested. Now, the reason I want to show you this here is because Chief Ross Thompson indicated that this gentleman, it was more like a little nothing, to where he might have had some type of confrontation with his girlfriend. He kind of minimized it to where he called it domestic something, what he called it. But as you can clearly see, this was more than just a domestic dispute. He was arrested for aggravated robbery, kidnapping, terroristic threatening, first degree, and 2 counts of aggravated assault. I understand that he pulled his weapon on his girlfriend. All right. And so, but Chief Thompson, he went out and he made some statements in regards to this was just only about, he said he was told. I was told. That's why I referred to him using hearsay. Police officers do not use hearsay information in a serious case such as this. What they do their facts finding. And after doing their facts finding, that's when they're able to go out and give sound, solid facts in regards to what happened. Chief Thompson did not do that. He relied on what he was told. He said he was told, and there's people that is sitting in jail right now who are facing many years in prison because of sloppy police work like this, you know, going off hearsay information. And so that is something serious that need to stop. I will say this here in closing. There have been cases in Blythe Police Department to where there have been um, not sexual, domestic violence, where there have been women that they be the wife or that they be the girlfriend who have endured some of the same violent treatment. Police population is no different than the general population. You know, there are women who are caught up in a situation to where um, they don't have no way out. Police officer, he's the law. She can't call the law on the law, and so she don't know where to turn. I think the police department need to adopt a zero policy in terms of domestic violence. Maybe that's something that they need to adopt. I don't know if they have that, but they definitely need to do it. The police officer who know of certain behaviors such as this, where there's an officer abusing his wife or his girlfriend, they have a duty to intervene, to tell his or her supervisor, even going clean up to the mayor, because the mayor supervises police and fire. So hopefully, if there's any cases within the Blythe Police Department to where there's some lady who's in trouble, that she be a girlfriend or that she be a wife, hopefully she would get some help. Some of these officers who have a duty to intervene, they will intervene. Okay. Um, that's pretty much all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting ready to shut it down. I will say I did have a number over here. Now, I will say these two ladies, where they at? I just had them. These two ladies right here, Mrs. Joanne Bell and Mrs. Sharon Jackson. Those two ladies have a program that they do uh, against women who might have went through domestic violence. I think they are victims themselves, and so please reach out to them on their Facebook page. Any wife, any girlfriend who may be caught up in a situation like that. Okay, and of course, I also want to give you a number up here. It's called the National Domestic Violence Hotline. There's a hotline number that if you know someone, or perhaps it could be you, who is in need of help. But that is a national hotline number there, 800-799-SAFE. SAFE, that's 7233. So if you know anyone or if it's happened to be yourself, please reach out and do try to get some help, okay? So that's pretty much all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all for tuning in. I went about 2 minutes over, 3 minutes over, no, 4 minutes over. And so that's really all I have for today. And I want to say you all catch me next week, and we will be coming back and hopefully giving you another great show. Catch me next Sunday, October 17th, 2021. Topic to be announced. May you have the remainder of your wonderful, blessed day. So until then, peace and love, God bless, and good night.